Morning. I'm so glad you're back today. Sit down. Feel comfortable. Is there anything I can get you?
No, I'm okay, thank you.
Awesome. So, how have you been feeling since the last time we met?
I'm a little bit better, just knowing that you're gonna help me with some goals and stuff today. So,
Awesome. Last time we talked about a lot of things, and that was probably pretty overwhelming. So, how does that make you feel? Like, how are you feeling about everything we talked about? We did have to drudge up a lot of past. And
yeah, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. I'm feeling anxious and nervous and kind of um, afraid still that I could still relapse and just
still afraid of that.
mhm,
Okay.
and just being unsure of everything.
You went home. Did you talk to Bill about anything we talked about? Do you feel like you were able to open up about anything? No. Okay. And that's okay. And I don't want to push that. I know that you came here for case management services. One of the things that your initial report said was just that you were wanting to learn some communication and life skills. So that comes with time. That's okay. I just wanted to ask how that went. Yeah. All right. I do want to acknowledge that today we are going to talk about those goals. I know we talked about it a little bit at the last appointment, how all that information helps me know how to help you, right? Um, I want these goals to be something that you want to work on, right? Within reason. So today we're going to do what's called a SMART goal, right?
Okay.
So when we look at a SMART goal, it's SMART, like the word SMART, and that stands for specific. So we want to pick something like a specific goal.
Okay.
You don't want to say something like, I just want to lose weight. That's a really broad category,
Yeah.
right? You want to say something like, I want to lose 30 pounds in the next 6 months.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
gives you a specific goal to reach.
Okay.
Within that goal, that's specific, right? And I'm just using that as um, I guess, just kind of a silly example. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But when we say that, if we say, I want to lose 30
Sorry
pounds,
about that.
that's okay. Do you need
My
to take
alarm.
that?
No, it's okay. It was my alarm.
Oh, wonderful. Um, So we want it to be smart. We want it to be measurable. So within that goal, it was measurable. We're going to do it, over the next 6 months.
Okay.
We're going to track the weight. It's measurable, right? Because we said
Yeah.
we're going to lose this many pounds. So it helps to be measurable for us. So we know that we're making progress. Like when you have a list,
Yeah.
definitely when you write out a list and you get to check it off, you can see the progress you're making.
Okay.
That helps us when we have something that's measurable.
Okay.
And then it's attainable. Is it something that's realistic? You don't want to say, I'm going to drop 200 pounds in 6 months. That's not realistic, right? So
No.
we want to make sure that we're being realistic, right?
Okay.
So we've got, or that it's attainable and also realistic. Those kind of go hand in hand
Yeah.
sometimes. And then time bound, right? We're going to do it within the next 6 months. So that was just kind of an example. When we
Okay.
look at those SMART goals, it helps us set those realistic expectations of ways that we want to move forward in our lives. And as a case management service, right?
Mhm.
You're here seeking services to help make some things better, to help you be equipped to move forward in your life.
Okay.
I want to empower you to do that. Okay?
All right.
So when we set these goals, I will ask, so that's kind of the purpose of what we're doing today, right? I want to ask you what you think those goals should be. I'll lay out some options for you and input. There's going to be things that we set in the goal that are things that I can do to help you those goals, right? So we'll develop that action plan and those steps. And then we'll probably set another date to evaluate all of that, see how you're making progress, how that's going. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Wonderful. So today you said you're feeling overwhelmed. Since the last appointment, you were feeling a little bit overwhelmed, nervous, anxious, afraid of relapse. I hear all of those things. I want you to know, as far as the nervous and anxious, I want to calm that for you a little bit. I want you to know that this is not as daunting as it sounds. No need to be anxious. Again, anything that we set here, I'm here to support you. Okay? So I want you to know that you're supported. Um, so let's, do you have any questions for me first? No? Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of jump into maybe throwing out some ideas for some goals.
Okay.
So when it comes to goal ideas, what do you feel might be a good goal for you?
Um, to not relapse.
Okay. I know that was one of the big reasons that you're here to stay sober, right? You were wanting some services to help you with that. So I think that's a great option for a goal. Um, Staying sober, no relapse. How do you think, how do you think that we can do that? What do you think might be some good steps for that?
Um, Maybe finding an NA that I could get involved in since I couldn't find one.
I know we talked about that. NA is a great option. Pretty sure I started looking at the ones in our area, and I'll to talk to you about the one what I found.
Okay.
Um, there is an NA meeting, but it's about 30 minutes from where you live. It's a 30-minute drive. It's kind of a big drive, and I know you said transportation can be an issue. But I did find one that's the closest one to you.
Okay.
It's a 30-minute drive. Um, and there would love to have you. So if we were to go that route, what do transportation options look like? Do you think that that is something? So they meet on Monday nights, right? From 6 to 8 p.m. Is that something that Bill can take you to, or do you know if he has anything going on at that time?
I don't think he has anything going on at that time. I just don't know that he would want to take me 30 minutes out there
Okay.
uh, since he does the AA.
When do you usually work?
I usually work Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday? What times? You work like longer shifts?
Yes. I work, I'm usually there by 6, and then I'm there pretty much all day till like 8 p.m.
Those are some very long shifts.
Yeah.
That must be really tiring.
Hmm.
So you aren't working on Mondays. So there is a local bus. So I have a few options. We can, you can talk to Bill. We can, see if that's an option. But if that's, I don't want that to become a stressor for you. If you feel like trying to bring that up right now with Bill is something that you're not ready for, I understand those communication things are hard. So I don't want to push anything you're not ready for. But if we can, Bill might be a good option. If not, there is a bus. The stop is about 5 minutes from your house. Okay. It would be around the corner on, so your apartment right there on the corner of 8th and Sycamore, right?
Hmm.
So if you go down, 8th Sycamore, if you go down, come down your apartment and go left down 8th, about 3 blocks, 3 or 4 blocks, shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes to walk that 3 blocks. There's a bus stop at the corner of 11th, right there.
Okay.
No, not 11th. I'm sorry, because you're going down 8th. Nope, that was Palm. I apologize.
Okay.
Um, the bus stop, I needed to find that in my paper. The bus stop was at Palm and 8th. I will get all this information to you.
Okay.
I will print it out for you before you leave. There is that bus stop at Palm and 8th. If You can make it to that bus stop. That bus can pick you up at 5 p.m. and get you to the NA group.
Okay.
I know that's a very long bus ride on your day off. So you'd be on that bus for about 50 minutes. It would get you there 10 minutes before it started.
Okay.
That bus, though, picks up at 8 p.m. is the only issue. The bus
Okay.
stop is right at the corner where the NA meets, but you would have to jump out maybe 5 or 10 minutes early to be standing there for the bus because it picks up by 8 p.m. because that's the last route of the day.
Okay.
So that may cut your time slightly short, but it would get you there.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
We can look at that as an option.
Okay.
Um, there is also a local place that can sometimes get cars or bikes to individuals. If you feel that we need to go that route, we can also see what kind of options they have in the future.
Okay.
Okay. If NA wasn't an option, what would be another option you might consider?
Learning some other coping skills.
Okay.
So, like, if I get stressed or start thinking about using,
Okay.
maybe I could talk myself out of it.
Okay. You know what, that would be something that I could look up some options for you. I can get you some information. Okay. Would you ever consider an outpatient facility?
What would that look like?
So there are some outpatient treatments. This is not inpatient where you're stuck in. It would require transportation. We'd have to get you to those appointments, but it would be depending on the treatment, would kind of depend on how many times a week you'd have to go in. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So we would call a number and you would set up an appointment to do an intake eval. They would take your information, kind of like we did at that first visit, right? They'd converse with you. They'd ask, but they're going to ask more pointed questions to their assessment than I asked.
Okay.
From there, they would assess what they have to offer and what you needed with what would they have to offer, right? What services that they could provide, and they would set up a plan with you. Sometimes that is daily if it's um, recurrent ongoing, like right now you're still using drugs. If you've been clean for a while and they feel comfortable with that and you feel comfortable with that, the plan might include that you guys just meet 2 or 3 times a week and you would join this group on Tuesdays and you would meet with so and so on this day. And does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Versus the weekly NA.
Okay.
And that again is up to you. Those two options. So your outpatient option is going to provide more supports and things at this time. NA can only provide that once a week small meeting. Do you feel that you're in a good enough place where NA is all you feel like you need right now? Do you feel like you need more than that right
Probably more.
now? Okay. Would you like me to get you some outpatient facility numbers?
Yeah.
Okay. Patient treatment options. So, if I get you those numbers, you just have to call and set them up. If you feel like that becomes overwhelming, let me know. I would love to meet with you again, and I would love to sit with you and be there to support you to help make those calls.
Okay.
Okay, so you just let me know what that looks like. If I get you those numbers and you just stare at them for 2 days and think, oh my gosh, I can't pick up this phone, please just give me a call. I'm happy to help provide that support for you along the way. Okay. Okay, so we want to go ahead and say that's a goal we're going to make, that we're going to focus on staying sober as a goal right now. Okay, awesome. If you could set another goal, what do you think that would look like?
maybe getting a better
Job. Okay. Awesome. Um, so
where I'm not working like 13-hour shifts, or you know what I mean, just where I'm not working all the time, but making better benefits and stuff.
So, better job. Let's narrow that down a little bit, right? So that's a big, broad goal. We talked about specific goals. Um, so for better job, um, what does that look like? So we talked about in our last one, if I'm correct, you do not have your high school diploma because you left home at 14, okay, and haven't had the chance to finish that. So to get a better job, I also remember, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I understood that you were interested in like healthcare
Mm-hmm.
career in the future. So I think you were talking about being a doctor or so I apologize. Sometimes I forget a little bit of what's in my notes. But um that you
I would like to work like as a pediatrician or in
that is what
the
you said.
NICU unit with the babies.
Okay.
Just
So if we look at that as a goal, right? Eventually this is the big goal of where you want to be. But today we want to make small steps towards that goal, right?
yeah.
So if we're going to do that, we should maybe start with your GED.
Okay.
How would you feel about looking into some GED classes?
Okay.
Okay, so we could start by getting a GED, and then from there, that can go into maybe nursing. So maybe we look for some community college nursing courses. You know what I mean? And we can start.
Yeah.
Okay. I know a lot of those programs sometimes you can be, get some of that schooling in your belt, but we can then get you into some internships at jobs that, kind
Okay.
of get you working along that aspect. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
that'd be nice.
I know that doesn't fix everything all at once, but it's baby steps, right? And you may
Yeah.
still have the hotel job for a little bit. Um, Also, when we look into the GED, we can talk to the Missouri Career Center. The Career Center um, can actually answer a lot of those questions and tell you how they can help you. Sometimes they have
Okay.
grant programs to help you with schooling. They would have information on how to get that GED going, how to build a resume. So that might be a really great starter and some baby steps.
Yeah.
I like all of that. So we talked about, let's see, outpatient facility options versus NA and what we think, and I'll get all of that info together
Okay.
and then a better job. Um, the other thing that I was looking at is I know we talked about dental. That's a fear for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you were scared about those insurance options.
Yes.
I would like to ask if you would feel comfortable looking at that as a goal with me. And you can say yes or no. Okay. I want to make sure, just like with your physical health and you see in community clinic, that we're taking care of all aspects of your health. Okay, that's my only concern is that I'm looking at your health as a whole because health is social, emotional, it's mental health, it's physical health, it's all of it. And so I want to make sure that you're safe and you're healthy. Um, if you are comfortable looking at that with me, I'm not saying we have to be at the dentist tomorrow.
Okay.
But setting a goal of looking at your insurance, considering what dental providers take that. Maybe just meeting and talking with a dentist for a basic exam. And maybe that day you just sit in the chair and he talks with you and he doesn't actually do anything. Maybe we can look at that.
Yeah, I'm willing.
So let's write up a couple of these goals. Okay. So can I kind of show you a form that we use and it just kind of helps us to get an idea, right? So then I can fill this out and put this paperwork in the system, and then I can look back at it.
Okay.
But I'll also give you a copy to look back at it, right? So today we're going to say our SMART goals. So our SMART goals are going to be, let's start with the first one, right?
Okay.
Is remain remain sober for 1 year. We're going to set a goal to stay sober for 1 year, right?
Okay.
Um, you are already 5 months
Yes.
sober. So that's 7 months from now. So we're setting a goal that we're going to keep going for the next 7 months, right?
Okay.
So that makes our goal specific, right? Instead of just saying, stay sober. That sounds daunting, but right when we break it down, we can say, we want to remain sober for the 1 year. We're going to get that 1 year check. We're going to say we did it, right? And then from there, you can extend that goal. I will hit the 2 year mark. We can keep going. But for now, we're going to set a specific goal that I want to remain sober for 1 year. So we know it's measurable over the next 7 months.
Okay.
The tasks. So we're going to label out your tasks to meet the goal.
Okay.
Right? So for this one, we are going to get number for outpatient treatment and call, right? We're going to call and set up that initial assessment. Number 2, we can say do assessment and begin treatment. Okay. How does that sound? If you have any suggestions or things that you want to change, please let me know. This is me just helping walk you through first one. But if you don't like that, we can always change it. This is 100% you. I don't want to set up a goal that you're not willing to meet, right? And it's not going to help you in the long run. So do assessment and start treatment. Number 3, we can say, let's say,
Are these all for outpatient?
yes. Yep. I think what we'll do is we'll set 3 for the outpatient treatment option and 3 for the NA option. That way we have options for whichever way we end up going.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And we need to set transportation, right? So we just wrote 3 tasks for you to be able to meet that goal. So this is for the outpatient option. So if we go with NA, we'll set up 3 options for that. If we go for NA, we would need to set transportation, right? Begin attending weekly, okay? And number 3, how would you feel about this third goal being to check in with me? Would you mind checking in with me weekly? And I would love to support you. Check in and make sure you've made it to your AA, any obstacles that may have happened.
That sounds like a good one.
Let's do check-ins weekly. Okay. So me as the social worker, how I can help you, right? Social worker, 1, 2, 3. So I can help you by finding info and phone numbers.
Okay.
For NA and outpatient, right? I can call for weekly check-ins. Check-in. Okay. And just provide support, right? I can offer that support.
Yeah.
I can also look, continue to look into transportation options. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Is there anything else that you think that I could do to help you with that? It doesn't have to just be three. Is there anything you feel like would be helpful?
No. Maybe getting my own vehicle.
Okay, but wanting to look at that, we can own vehicle. Add that into looking at our transportation options. How does that sound? Yeah. Thank you. Awesome. So we did that one. So that wasn't so hard, right?
Yeah.
When we talk about SMART goals and we lay it out, sometimes it feels more daunting than it
Yeah.
really is. Let's talk about one more because we wanted to talk about better job. Let's set that goal, and then we'll talk about a date to meet again, and then we'll be done for today. So job. So we want to look at a better job. So let's start with 1, 2, 3 for your tasks. And then we'll do 1, 2, 3 for my tasks. So what I know I talked about going to the job center.
Okay.
So we can definitely put career center, sorry.
Yeah.
I will definitely, my task will be to um, get you the number to the career center.
Okay.
So we need to get you to the career center to look at GED. We need to find transportation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, make an appointment. Show up. You know what? Show up. I like that, Monica. You know what? Sometimes I don't want to show up either. Sometimes that's half the battle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because once you get here, I'm sure it was half the battle last week to meet me, but once you're here and we're doing this, it doesn't feel so daunting, right?
Yeah.
So Career Center can be the same way. It can feel that way. But show up's definitely the way to go. So we're gonna make an appointment, show up. We're gonna find transportation for that appointment. We are going to uh, maybe set up classes for GED. Study and show up to those classes. And maybe, last but not least, graduate and create a resume. I think those are all great. You got 5 there. Yeah. Uh, what I can do is get you the number of the career center. Um, I can check in and offer support um, for you. That makes sense. Now, just something longer or you lost current transportation. If I'm just doing those check-ins, then I can make sure that things don't fall off. And, I don't want you to ever feel like things mess up. Now I'm overwhelmed. And I want you, if I'm checking in weekly, then you have that support there for you. So if you're okay with that, I'll again offer support in that category.
Yes, I would really appreciate that.
Awesome. And then, yeah, I think those are kind of the things that I think will be the easiest things that I can offer for you in that aspect. Do you think there's anything else you would ask of me in that? It's okay.
maybe help me make um, either help me make the appointment to go to the classes, or maybe like um, help me find all the information I'm gonna need for it.
Okay, I can do that. Info for classes and needs,
Hmm.
and then help you make the call. Sorry about that. Oh, okay. That is all wonderful. I love all of that. And you did some of that. Yeah. It's not as hard as it sounds. Not as overwhelming as it can feel.
Yeah.
I think those are great places to start. And I do feel like even though it doesn't feel as overwhelming as we talked about you may go home and think, okay, but now I have to make this call, and it'll start to feel overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's not that overwhelming. It's okay. I would love to make an appointment next week
Okay.
to check in with you. Before you leave, I will go make copies of some of this information and see if I can't find the Career Center number.
Okay.
I'll send all that home with you. Again, you look at all that and you say, I feel paralyzed to make this call. Call me.
Okay.
But let's set a date for you to come back in and check in with me next week on where you're at with those phone calls and what's going on. So then we can troubleshoot any problems that you may have run into. Okay. Wonderful. My calendar, it looks like, says that I have an opening next Thursday, but you said that you work Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. So you work Thursday. Friday. I have an appointment on Friday at 1 o'clock.
Let me make sure that'll be okay. Just I don't have a doctor's appointment Friday. Yeah, that'd be fine. You said 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock? Okay. So Friday, 1 p.m. All right, and we will just check in. We'll see how far you got on making those phone calls and initial appointments, whether you decided to go the route of NA, the route of outpatient. After speaking, I would call and speak to both and just kind of feel it out and then see what you feel is best for your situation, okay?
Okay.
And then I'm happy to support you in whatever's best for you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Um, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, I think I missed it. You were talking about identity and feeling when we were talking about not fitting in anywhere. Um, I want to make sure that I'm also supporting and helping you in feeling like you fit in. So as we go these routes with the outpatient, if we start something and you just are really feeling like that wasn't the place for you, just know that we can always pivot that
Okay.
plan. Okay. Plans, these SMART goals, they're going to be an ongoing moving process. We may change things as they go, but I want you and I to make a plan, and I want you to be able to make the decision that's best for you. Okay? Do you have questions for me? Well, I'm so glad you came today. I'm looking forward to seeing you next Friday. Let me get those copies for you, and I will see you next